All right, what you got?
So basically, I just want to ask you this kind of broad subject, but
Okay.
I don't really know how to be a leader.
Yeah, I know that. Because you're not naturally a leader. I know who you are. You wouldn't have been my pick for captain. Because you're not naturally a leader. It's going to be hard for you.
Yeah, I'm not like a vocal dude. Like, I just have to do my shit.
Don't have, yeah, but you can't, you have to bring people with you. You're a big do your own shit, dude. You're really good at it, too. You kill your own shit. So for you, you're going to have to get real uncomfortable. Period. Right? Like, you're going to have to get massively uncomfortable if you want to be a good leader. Because it's not in the framework of who you really are. Right?
Yeah.
Some things you can do, like when you go you do extra. Okay, when you do extra, call 2 people. Hey man, I'm getting ready to do extra. You want to come with me? You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to say nothing to them. Their extra can be different than your extra. You know right now there's probably 10 to 15 freshmen that work out every night at 8 o'clock.
Really?
10 to 15 freshmen will be in the indoor every night at 8 o'clock. Led by Isaiah Williams. Is he a very vocal person? Is he a really good leader? Because he doesn't have to talk. He just says, hey, we're going to be in the indoor. Who wants to come throw with me in the indoor? He got like 15 people to go with him. Out of the 22 freshmen, there's 10 to 15 of them show up every night at 8 o'clock. And they work out for about 45 minutes. The other day I saw them dragging ladders and stuff in there. Does that make sense to you? Okay. But you're going to have to get uncomfortable because like I love leading. Love it. I love being able to set the tempo, lay everything out, make the plan, get everybody on the same page, get the team, together. You know what I'm saying? Like I live for that stuff. It's not who you are. So now you got to force yourself to be somebody else, but you also got to be cognizant because you can't do it so much that it affects your performance on the field. Like when I say stuff to you, I'll give you an example. You got your headphones on and I say to you, make sure they're out there on practice on time. And your whole body language says, hey coach, go screw yourself. You're like, I'm trying to get ready to go to practice. I don't have time to worry about everybody else. That's how you feel, correct?
I don't like, you always say, I just don't know how to do it. Like,
so, dude, you just got to get up. Who don't look ready? There's one dude that's always not ready. I look directly across from your locker. You know who it is. And you say, hey man, we got to be out there in 5 minutes, bud. I did it today. He was pulling his clothes off when I walked in the locker room. Hey, you got 3 minutes to be out of this locker room. He started working faster, right? Now, I'm not asking you to go around the locker room and yell at people, but I am asking you to look around the locker room and know who's not going to be ready. And it may just be as simple for you as walking over there saying, hey man, are you going to be ready in 3 minutes? Okay. You can always ask for a favor. Hey man, I need a favor. Can you make it out on the field in 3 minutes? Okay. Can you do me a favor? That's a big SEAL team one, right? Can you do me a favor, man? I may be in charge, but I'm going to ask that 9 times out of 10. Can you do me a favor? Hey, I need somebody to go down there and take the trash out. Can you do me a favor? Right? Now, if they come and ask you to do a favor, then you got to do them a favor. But that's an easy way instead of you saying to somebody, hey, you have to be out there in 5 minutes.
That's a relationship.
Yeah. You got to get out of yourself. How much do you talk to DJ?
Not that much.
Okay, so then you got to get out of yourself a little bit. That's the uncomfortability I'm talking about. Sitting at the table with those guys at varsity. You even eat varsity? No. That's the little stuff that you got to do. Be cognizant. I'm not trying to turn you into Pat, right? I'm just trying to get you to be more effective than you currently are. Because right now, I don't know who you're influencing. Other than you do everything right, you play your ass off, you fight, right? Like you get everything we want, but you're not bringing people with you. Now, the other thing of that is, if you can't do it, then it is what it is, right? Because the last thing I want you to do is affect the team's performance because your performance gets worse. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think you can probably do it, but you're going to have to get a little uncomfortable. You're going to have to grow as a person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So instead of putting your headphones on right before practice, maybe you say, I'm going to get ready 5 minutes earlier so that I can spend 5 minutes walking around and making sure that everybody's ready to go. We did okay getting out there on the field today for practice, right? But when I came up here at 7:15, we probably had 15 people that were going to be late until I opened my mouth and yelled something. And then all of a sudden, everybody was like, oh, everybody started moving with a sense of urgency. And even then, we had one guy still putting his shoes on at 7:25. We'd like to be down there at 7:25 so that we can start promptly at 7:30. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. It ain't no monumental stuff. You just got to say, hey, if you're coming in, what do you do extra? Like right now, what are you doing extra?
I was just doing boots and I was watching the film.
Okay. So then, who'd you invite to come with you? No one. That's as simple as it is. You got an O-line group me text or anything like that? Oh, simple, man. Maybe you say, who could really grow by watching film? What time is good for you to come in and watch 45 minutes of film? I'm going to be watching film, right? Or you say, hey, I'm going to be in here from this time to this time. Either one of you able to make it. Don't make them come in. Just ask them the question.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, if you ask them the question 5 times and they don't show up, then it becomes, hey, bud, when are you free today? Okay, we're going to watch film. It works at 1 o'clock for me. We're going to watch film from 1 to 2. Right? It becomes a little bit different. But give them the opportunity to join you first. And then I would always do this, open it up to the whole group. How many linemen are there? 16?
Yeah. 16
dudes show up in a room, and the next week only 14 show up. All of a sudden, them other 2 dudes know they didn't show up. And that's what we don't do well as a team right now. You know what I'm saying? We don't include everybody in what we're all doing. That's why it's not really a team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What else?
I just feel like I have like the title of captain. I feel like I haven't been doing shit with it.
That's a very good assessment. You haven't. And I've been saying something to you, and you still haven't been doing something. How hard was it for you to come in here and talk to me today?
Yeah.
How hard was it for you to realize you had to come in here and talk to me?
That was kind of hard.
That was hard, right? You didn't want to admit that you had to come in here. So that's why we're at week 6 games in, and you're just getting here. And I've been saying something to you since the very beginning, have I not? Okay, but part of growing up is understanding when you need help. It's not a big deal, man. Like, it's not. This team lacks a lot of leadership. It just does. We don't have a lot of leaders on this team. Freshmen are really good. I got 5, 7 dudes in there. But they can't help us right now. You know what I'm saying? They can't help us beat Wisconsin this week. You can help us beat Wisconsin. Okay. You got a couple tools now?
Yeah.
Okay. So look, you can stop in here anytime you want. Just stop and, hey, coach, I tried this, it didn't work, right? Shoot me, you got my number, shoot me a text message or call me, hey, coach, I talked to today, it didn't work. Okay, well, try this. There's 3 or 4 things you can do normally to get a person engaged. First thing I'm going to ask you, did you eat breakfast with him? If you want him to be engaged in what you want him to be engaged in, then you got to be engaged in what he wants to be engaged in. I'll tell you this, the first rule of leadership, above anything else, they got to know you care about them. If you don't care about them, they won't ever do anything for you. And the second they know that you care about them, they'll do everything for you. And you don't have to be fake. It doesn't have to be who you're not. It's just something that's like, hey, man, when you eating breakfast? Man, I hate varsity. What do you do for dinner? Man, I normally go to whatever, Five Guys. Shit, let's go to Five Guys today. Maybe you buy his dinner at Five Guys. Cost you, what, $10? I know you're a broke college student, but like that goes a long ways. Especially with a 320-pound offensive lineman, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Try
Try to meet him somewhere in the middle and build a relationship. I don't want you to think that you have to do all this extra stuff to be a good leader. You just got to do little stuff that means a lot.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like, I don't want you to ask every day, how you doing? Unless that's, if you really want to know, like I ask pretty much everybody how you doing. Most of the time I ask the people that I know aren't doing well. Because I know everybody in the building now. So as soon as I see your body language, like Kyron Cumbie's been messed up for a week. I found out yesterday why. He's going to redshirt. Okay? But I knew something was wrong last Monday. I talked to him Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday I talked to him. Monday, today, he was still down a little bit, but he's back to becoming his old self because all of the pressure that he wanted to redshirt is done. He's going to redshirt now. But as you grow as a leader, you'll start to see those kind of things. So I don't need to talk to 110 people a day. I need to talk to the 10 people that ain't doing well and make sure I curb their day enough that we have a good practice and they do well the rest of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
All right.